nervous. How long have we known? You look nervous. I'm here with Shelley Walker and with Women's Trucking Federation of Canada. What's going on, Shelley? What's going on? I just did I shouldn't say it that way. I just moderated a panel. If you say just did a panel, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
I just moderated a panel where we talked a lot about women drivers. What's going on with Women's Trucking Federation of Canada? And always got stuff going on.
Well, it's busy time of the year now, right? The warmer weather's coming upon
Truck
us.
show season!
Yes. Chrome and chicken legs.
I like
right?
it. That's all about me.
That's just it. So we've been doing a lot of career fairs right now. So we on next week actually we were at Skills Ontario Young Women's Initiative for 2 days.
So why would you be doing those kind of fairs? Are you just showing the opportunity of trucking to women or to young people, or are you hiring for what you do?
No. So what we've been doing is showing what our industry has to offer to youth, also to people that are looking to transition in their career choice.
Yeah.
Race, gender, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're talking to everybody out there.
Yeah.
There is a lot of interest, a lot of questions. So it's been some pretty good events for us the last few that we've been at.
Good.
So, but the Young Women's Initiative is basically geared to Monday is elementary students.
Okay.
And then Tuesday is high school students.
What kind of comments are you getting when you go to those fairs? Are people interested? Or are they just going, it's trucking? My parents told me don't look at that industry, or what are you saying?
We've had a few kids that have said to us, like my parents said, like, they don't want me driving a truck, and then usually when we ask, I'll get, well, my dad drives, and he said there's no way in hell he's going to let me behind a wheel. So, we have some of that, but then we have some that are generally interested.
Yeah.
And, we tell them there's a lot more to our industry other than driving a truck, right? So there's diesel technician and all the other opportunities we have. And, how they can start, basically. They can start as a grease monkey in the shop or in the wash bay or in the warehouse and gradually work up and get their license or their diesel tech ticket or into an office position.
Yeah.
So
you and I drove for about the same length of time. Do you find it ironic when someone says don't become a truck driver and they're doing the job and they've been feeding their family and providing a pretty good living to most people? I find that very weird. I always go, why would you say that?
I think for some of them, when you start talking to them, they're fed up and they're to the age where they don't want to go learn something new. Right. Or in other cases, what else are they going to learn with their level of education that is going to give them the income that they're used to having?
Yeah.
Right. I also talk to drivers that are out and about socially who don't want people to know they drive a truck. They won't tell people they drive a truck.
I do the caricature events and I get people go, you drive a truck? And then I tell them about the industry. I go, they're amazed. I find it really weird.
It is. I find it's different social dynamics about where you go. I find like some of the high school kids are just like, when they look at me at 4'11" and go, you drive a truck?
Yeah.
Right? I actually had one kid last week go, oh, could you reach the pedals?
Yes, I can.
Right? I'm like, valid question, but yes, they do.
Yeah.
So
25 years you did. You
so it's just it's changing what they see, and and I've asked them, can you name me 5 things you know about driving a truck? And I often hear rollovers, flipping over,
Yeah, that's because that's what they see, and people are showing that, and I know that's why you and I don't show that, right?
Right. So it's all over sometimes mainstream media. But drivers that are sharing these pictures and these videos and all these areas of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, do you ever stop to think that you are showing the worst images of our industry?
I know.
Right? I love to show stuff from when we're at big rigs. The diesel smoke, the shiny chrome, the pride that drivers take in their trucks.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right? And I think, we need to focus a little bit more in those areas.
I thought I was. I've been doing this for 15 years. Right? I thought I was already. But apparently it's not getting out enough, right? Oh, you are one of the leaders and instrumental in the human trafficking front. And I think we have something coming up next month. I'll leave it alone. I think that's with you in Ontario Truck Drive. But tell us what's going on with human trafficking. What's the last development? I think you were moderating a panel and talking about it and awareness and revealed a trailer. Anything else coming out soon?
There is the Canadian Declaration to End Human Trafficking.
Right.
My team and we were a part of that in Winnipeg on.
I saw you met Mr. Paul Brandt, if I remember the picture correctly.
It was great to actually meet him and talk to him and about the great work his organization is doing on human trafficking. We have a trailer launch that'll be at the Ontario Truck Driving School May 10th.
Looking forward to that,
so that's coming up. I am also going to be talking to the Status of Women Standing Committee on human trafficking next week, actually.
Right.
So looking forward to contributing and encouraging our government to do as much as possible about this.
So you going out west, does that mean that, because I know there's a number of separate groups that are all trying to do their own thing. Are you guys coming together a little more and trying to work as a whole? Or was that just an informational conference that you went out to?
That was basically an informational conference, but there are some organizations that are working together. I think that the biggest thing is, and it doesn't matter whether it's the human trafficking world or the trucking world or whatever, everybody's working in these silos.
Yes.
And we're reinventing the wheel. We're duplicating each other's work. I mean, for God's sakes, it's about time we knock those damn things down, Bruce.
Start working
because
together.
We can accomplish a lot more when we work together instead of working against each other. I mean, and I think that's where we need to shift the focus more.
Right,
Right? Because everybody has their own unique thing that they're really, really good at. So let's work together. I said to a couple of them at the conference that I was at, what do we need to do? Have the sandbox like back in kindergarten and everybody gets one pail and one shovel and we have to share? I mean, it has to change.
And I've seen, I mean, you're one that was instrumental in leading that I saw up here. We've got some friends down in the States who also have been very, and now I'm starting to see other ones pop up and I'm going, okay, we got to get together. Like, this is an important thing for all of us that we all need to keep working at.
Well, and that's the thing. And the thing is that, TAT is a U.S. organization, so not in my city and all these other ones. They've been up here in Canada long before TAT decided that they were going to serve us up here. And there's difference of opinions, right? So I think, we have to respect those boundaries. We are very much on a victim-centric approach, and we do not believe in victim shaming up here in Canada. So those are really big things. And then the differences between a sex worker and sex trafficking, which is a great debate right now. With various groups in our Canadian government and trying them to do change, and you have to be careful because there has been death threats against people for trying to stick up for the rights of sex workers. So it's a real heated world, and human trafficking is not our sphere. We're about trucking. We're just trying to help with the public awareness piece, promoting the Ontario government.
And I think it's for a lot of us older drivers to do that, because I know I was teaching a class, I had about 15 people in class, and somehow it got on to sex workers with truck stops. And they said, oh, you must have a good story. And all I said was, Canton, Ohio, 1985. And they all went, so they're waiting to hear a story. And then I went into the whole, that's what we used to think. Here's what we found out system, that it was human trafficking. We didn't know. And I didn't say about, I've never dealt in any of that stuff, but I did say it was a pain to get a night's sleep back in Canton, Ohio. That's kind of what I was going at. And they thought it was coming from the other side. But the place quietened down. Once I started explaining what human trafficking is and the change in our mindset in the industry from having stickers and mud flaps to now an approach of, wow, someone might be in danger, class quiet right down. And I think a lot of us that were in the old school days have to start doing that and saying, wait a minute now. Yes, it was funny back in the day, or we thought it was because we didn't realize what it was. And now we realize the danger. I didn't realize what it was back then.
No, and that's just it. And I think, in Canada itself, we've never seen a lot of the mosquitoes, lot lizard, mud
no.
flaps, and those type of things. We usually see a lot more of those down south than we do up here, right? But the thing is, it still doesn't stop them from knocking on your truck. So it's just, it's not a good image for our industry or for a driver to even have those things on their truck. Like, I understand why they do it, but if we get more people involved, learning about what human trafficking it is, taking a course. There's so many free courses.
Yeah, there's no reason not to know.
There's no reason not to. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour of your time is nothing. In fact, some of them are in audio. You can listen to them when you're driving down the road. So it pays to pay attention. And I had one guy say to me, what's the big deal? And my answer to that is, do you have a wife? Do you have a mother? Do you have a daughter? Do you have a sister?
Those of us that have daughters and wives.
Right. So take the course. It's only a little bit of your time. Right. If you can sit and watch a hockey game or football or have a couple beers with your buddies, you can take the time to take a course.
You'll learn a lot. Okay, real quick, because we got to go to lunch. We haven't eaten yet. Tell us about the Bridging for Barriers coming up 2023. This is your annual conference. You do it every year. Tell us what we can expect this year, or what you're thinking.
Well, Bridging the Barriers will be on September 25th and 26th this year at the Hilton Garden Inn, Toronto Airport West location. We have Dr. Paul Artel as our keynote speaker. We have Rick Geller coming in, and he's going to talk about governance and compliance. We also have Carrie, I'm probably going to mess up her last name, Wierzorowski from CDSA. She is coming in, and we've got some panels we're setting up, and some special surprises again this year. So it's sure to be a great event, and pretty soon we'll be advertising it hot and heavy so people can find out more details and get registered.
And it's not just a women's event. There's lots of men in the audience, lots of men that are contributing, on the panel and stuff, and panels. So
that's just it. And as always, we dedicate so much of our event to human trafficking.
Right.
So we have Project Recover, Richard Dunwoody coming in. That is really interesting about what that organization does. And we also have White Ribbon coming in talking about male allyship and the importance of male allyship.
It's going to be a great. Where can they find out more? Have you got it on your website yet, or is that where the people should go? Or
pretty soon they'll be able to go onto our website. We're just fine-tuning things, and know how that goes.
Make sure there's a registration link and all that, because that's where I send everybody all the time.
Yeah, make sure it works. So, and waiting, basically we've been waiting for the hotel link for the hotel as well, so we can get that up there for people so they know how much the rooms are if they choose to spend the night. As always, Bruce is our lovely media personality, and doing our DJing and all that on the night.
We're going to up it from last year.
I can tell you there were so many people that just were in love with last year's networking that I'm sure this year it's going to even be better.
Yeah, very good, very good. Well, thanks for all you do, Shelley. We love working with you. You and I have known each other for years, and keep up all the good work you're doing.
Thanks, Bruce. You keep doing what you do.
Let's go have lunch.
Yeah,
I'm hungry.